You understand that?
Al Stevens, there's been considerable news lately about home squatters who are
Yes, sir.
taking over homes and then changing the lots while people are out,
Yes, sir.
and then pleading that they are renters who are behind on the rent, and the police are refusing to kick them out. They'll kick the homeowner out first. Is there any steps being taken in Kansas to avoid that sort of thing happening?
Thank you for the question. So this is a question near and dear to my own heart, because in addition to our business with the restaurant, we buy houses and commercial buildings in Leavenworth, restore them, get them to where we would use them or we'd live in them, and then rent them out. So this is near and dear to my heart. I mean, this is a big business for us too. Kansas is not a squatter rights state. Okay, so there's nothing in statute right now where, and I've been watching on TV too, and it's a big concern down in southern states where illegals come across the border, find a vacant house, and just, especially in Southern California, they just take up residence, and then the owner can't get them out because it's squatter rights. So Kansas is not a squatter rights state. But this is top of mind because, we work for you and a lot of folks are asking about it. So I know that there's a move afoot right now here in the last 2 weeks to try to do something to affirmatively say, because right now, basically, the state statutes are just silent on it, right? In California, they have a law that says, you can't kick somebody out if they've been sitting in your house for 45 days, whatever the number is. We don't have that in our statute, but we want to go even further and say, you don't have a right to stay in a house, if you don't own it, you ain't paying the rent. And so there is a move afoot for that, now that that's kind of gotten into the press. But I don't know where we're at on it. I'm sure that we'll be hearing about it next week when we go back. But before you're next, sir, before I leave the topic of this crisis at the border and all these illegals coming across, I want to say a couple more things. I sponsored in the House a resolution, and I don't remember a few weeks ago, the Supreme Court ruled that Texas, well, they didn't rule that Texas couldn't put up wire. They ruled that the federal government could come cut it down. Now, they didn't say Texas couldn't put down more. And so it's kind of like, I don't know if you remember that movie Apocalypse Now, where every day they put up the bridge and every night they'd be on to try to knock it down. Well, that's what's going on at the border right now in Texas, but it's working. It's working. If you look at the numbers since they started laying wire at the river, all the illegals are coming through Arizona and California because they can't get through razor wire. Imagine that. And so, walls work. Who would have known? But I did a resolution. All the other states around us had either their governor or their legislature had said we support the Texas governor in their efforts to secure the southern border, and a lot of them had sent National Guard. And so I think it was either January or February, I sponsored a resolution. I got like 80. I got enough just co-sponsors to pass the bill. But we had a big fight on the floor with the Democrats, and we passed a resolution saying that Kansas stands with Texas in their efforts to secure the border. It also asked the governor to give the governor of Texas whatever support he needs, up to and including the Guard. And so we also have authorized $16 million, so if she wants to send the Guard, it's in the budget and paid for. Because that's where we got to stop it. Everything we do here is consequence management. We had, last year in Leavenworth, we had 48 calls for fentanyl overdose, and 11 of those were fatalities. And we just had another, I don't know if you saw in the paper, a guy got charged with murder for selling a 15-year-old kid fentanyl. They finally caught him. The kid was his parents were friends of mine. And so I've also got a bill, it's a Good Samaritan law to encourage people to, because what's happening is a bunch of people are taking drugs together, one of them overdoses, and the other one's just split because they don't want to get arrested. It basically gives them immunity from prosecution if they call 911 to save that person's life and they stay on the scene. Now, if they've got or dealer quantities of fentanyl, or if they've got, illegal weapons or something else, they're gonna go to jail. But if it's just drugs, I want them to call and save that person's life, right? But all of this is just consequence management. The squatters' right, it's just trying to plug the holes in the dam, trying to keep it from failing. We gotta secure the border. We gotta secure the border.